Good day, God bless you. Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Zach, and this is Tip to Tip. So, I am just continuing real quick with this video on the subject of eating less and how do you accomplish that. And, going back, I know I could watch a million videos and listen to 100 books and be taught what to eat and what to do, but I've boiled it down having read literally, guys, 100 self-help books, not all on diet, but on improving yourself. And I've been on every diet. I'm sure you could find the name of one I haven't been on, but I've attempted to do, even without knowing the name of it, every style of dieting, whether it's carb restriction or low fat or high fat or protein or limit protein or maximize protein or bodybuilder diet or boxer diet, cut weight, gain weight. I've done them all. And I'm not saying I'm an expert at any of them or anything, but I have definitely boiled it down. I hit 236 again. I'm right at that. So like 235 is the next goal. Like I'm just taking it 1 pound at a time. If that takes, and that shouldn't be every day. You shouldn't lose a pound every day. If you lose a quarter pound a day, that's a pretty decent clip. But even up to a half a pound, and if you're big like me, that's not so crazy. So let's just talk about a couple things as far as like eating less and staying satisfied. So in the past, I've attempted to do like high protein or like even like a carnivore phase 1 of keto or carnivore type diet. And I do believe in it. I know you can crash 20 pounds off of your body, 25, 30 pounds off your body in no time. But you do have to realize a big part of that, damn near the whole part of it, is that you're not eating any carbs. And there's only so many carbs in your body, and your body burns up all them carbs. Not that carbs are bad. Carbs are good. There's a reason your body stores carbs, and it stores fat, unlimited. But it stores a minimum amount of carbohydrates between, let's just say between 1 and, I don't even know what the max would be. If you're really out of shape, you don't store that many. The more in shape you are, like if you run marathons, you need more energy, so your body learns to store more in your liver and your muscles. The point of this, though, is for the carnivore, when you go on that type of diet, when you just eat meat and you eat that 80% fat and 20% protein, you burn up all them carbs, and each gram of carbs, each molecule of carbohydrate holds 3 or 4 molecules of water. Let's just say a lot of water. So each carb burnt up also dumps a bunch of water. So obviously, if you go on carnivore for 2 weeks, 4 weeks, you're gonna lose 25, 30 pounds. Now, is that all gonna be fat? Like, of course not. Almost none of it will be fat if you eat enough. Like if you eat enough calories of carnivore to maintain your body weight, you'll just lose that water weight. So that's kind of where I'm at. Like I know that's a possibility, but do I really want all that water flushed out of my body? I'm not sure. I'm not saying to no. I'm just saying I know that that is what happens. So now, eating less. Let's just cut to that portion. I find myself able to eat a lot less total calories when I combine the food groups and not be so restrictive as far as like fat, protein, and carbohydrates. So I'm trying to get my protein in, whether it's with some meat. Today we had some shrimp. Sometimes it's an egg, which has way more fat than protein, but it's still extremely healthy. It's like 2 eggs, like 2 fried eggs is a pretty good breakfast for me. That'll hold me off till lunch, or even like 1 fried egg and like some Ezekiel whole grain bread, like actual grain, like sprouted grains, like no flour. I'm falling in love with that stuff. So, and it's very satisfying is what I'm finding as far as total calories goes. If you think about calories, your carbohydrates have 4 grams, or 1 gram of carbohydrate has 4 calories. 1 gram of protein has 4 calories, and 1 gram of fat has 9 calories. So if you're trying to reduce your overall calories, it seems obvious that you would try to reduce your fat intake. And the more I consider it and the more I research it, and no matter what you research, if you look for what you're looking for, you will find it. like, I believe this. You're going to find somebody out there that believes that, and you're going to say, okay, they're right. That's not what I do. I just search everything. I don't watch the news. Like, I'm not saying I get my sources of information from media outlets, but I will look up, whether it's YouTube or just Google searches or Bing search, whatever, who lives the longest on the planet, what do they eat, how do they restrict their calories. And it's becoming more and more clear to me that there's nobody out there eating carnivore. Not in any of the the longest living human beings on earth. Not saying they won't. I'm not saying it's unhealthy. I'm just saying from what I'm seeing, that is not what they eat. They eat soup and rice and vegetables. And so anyway, what am I doing to eat a lot less? Let's just look at today. I could cover the last couple days, but just today, I got up. I ran and got a haircut. I'm feeling a lot better with the stroke. I'm still dizzy and still off balance, but I'm working with it. How many minutes into this video? We're 6 minutes into this video and I didn't even bring it up yet, so that's a good thing. Stayed busy, got a haircut, got home, made breakfast for the wife because I had my in-home physical therapist coming over, and I didn't eat before he got here, so he was here from like 10 to 11, and my blood pressure was getting down there pretty low because I hadn't eaten. So what did I make? I made 2 fried eggs and 2 Ezekiel 4-9 slices of bread. So I think those bread slices, I'm going to ballpark it and say about 70 calories each, and then the egg about 70 calories each. So we're still only looking at like 250 calories for that sandwich. And I fried it in a little bit of unsalted butter, the 2 eggs. And I did put, so probably more like 350 calories after I add a little bit of butter on the bread and to fry the egg. But the point of that story is, one, it's pretty low calorie if that's your whole breakfast. And it was. I could have added vegetables. I could have had a piece of fruit. I'm not saying that's all you need to eat, but I'm just saying this is how I ate a lot less today. And between that kind of bread, that kind of grain, and a decent source of protein and fat, that it had me like bloated full. I was wishing I wouldn't have put 2 eggs on it for several hours, like 5 hours. To the point where it was like I ate it too late to even have lunch at noon or 1 because it was just way too early. And then I ended up, my wife made like a pumpkin, it's like a soup. So she, used like coconut milk and chopped up pumpkin and all kinds of vegetables and seasonings and spices and peppers and stuff in there. And she just, that's where she put the shrimp in there. I kind of convinced her at the end. I was like, well, I need some protein. Just either, cook some shrimp on the side and I'll throw them in the soup. She ended up just throwing it in the soup. So we had a good, maybe half a pound of shrimp in there. Close to it, something like, they were just a little like pre-cooked bag of shrimp you can buy frozen. They're already cooked. You just throw them in there. So and I had just a small bowl, not like a big cereal bowl, but the smaller bowl like that. And I seasoned it up a little bit and I ate it. And then I waited about a half hour and I had it again. And so that was about 3 hours ago. And I have been wishing I wouldn't have eaten that second bowl the entire time. And so I was talking to my wife about it. I was like, I know I'm wanting to eat less because of the medical condition and I'm wanting to get better and fully recover, which is pretty rare for people to recover fully from this. But I'm being hopeful and I'm like, I'm going to recover. And she goes, well, you're drinking a lot more water. And I was like, because I'm wanting to improve my health and I'm being very conscious about my water intake. Like every morning I go and fill up. I have this, what is it? I got a 40-ounce canteen here. This isn't even the one I was using, but it's maybe even a little larger than this. It might be 50, 60 ounces. And I've been getting up and filling that up every morning and then just making sure I drink it twice to get enough water in. And it made me think, that might be a big portion of why I'm staying so satisfied after meals and so full. And I know it's a psychological thing too, like I was thinking about ice cream today, and it took me a while to think of it because I was like, what is that thing I always say I like? And like I would want to have it. And it took me, I was like, oh yeah, the Blizzard ice cream treats at Dairy Queen. And I was like, wow, like I do foresee myself having one of those down the road, but man, just saying it is making me think that's not a smart idea at all. Like that is not what you need in your life. So like I said, I'm 236 pounds. I'm eating less food. Just bucking for that next pound. Just keep fighting for that next pound. Don't, and this is what I've done in the past. Like, okay, I'm stuck at 236 for a week. So I kind of start slacking because I start getting mad. Which is not that big a deal. As long as you get right back on the horse, like within the same week or even less, like I'm realizing less and less and less. So the important part is to not let yourself lose 20 pounds and then gain 30 and then say you need to get back to where you were. Like you need to just keep fighting every day. It's not that big a deal. It's never going to be easy. You're doing some research and study and you're trying to find a way. How is this going to be so easy? It's never going to be. I mean, watch the videos of the guys that have struggled through life. I mean, they get up and go running every morning. And what's his name? That black guy, I freaking love him. He's a skinny little rip dude now. I always bring him up, but he hates it. He's like, running is the thing I hate the most. And this is a guy that runs like ultra marathons, hundreds of miles at a time. And it's because he knows it's never easy and he doesn't want to go back to where he knows where he started and he knows where he is and he doesn't want to go back. And that's what I want you to gain from this video series is learn to keep fighting. And a lot of it is going to be, if you're not even anywhere where you want to be yet, I mean, don't talk to me about the drugs. If you're going to go get on drugs, then just go do it and go find some other way. That's not how I'm going to treat my body if I don't have to. Get rid of all them temptations around the house. You can't buy a gallon of ice cream and say, wow, I'm not going to eat the whole thing. Like, of course you're going to eat the whole thing. You've been doing it your whole life. Nothing's changed. If nothing changes, nothing's going to change. And so I've realized that. Like I tried to cut down my caffeine recently. Not that I barely drink any anyway, but I just got up one day and even though I'd already not really been drinking any caffeine, I just threw away the coffee maker, the instant coffee, the coffee pots, whatever I could find. I just threw it all away. And it's like, are you never going to drink coffee again? It's like, I don't know, but I know I'm not now because I just threw all that stuff away. And same thing, just throw the ice cream. What a waste of ice cream. No, wasting it is eating it. If you eat the ice cream, that's the waste. If you eat the chips, and that's another thing. You're going to eat unhealthy food, I understand, but don't grab for me it was like, don't grab a 2-pound bag of peanuts when I know I shouldn't eat more than 20. It's like, grab 10 or 20 then. Don't grab 2 pounds, Just grab what you're going to eat and give yourself time to be satisfied. When I ate that sandwich this morning, if I don't wait 10 minutes, I think I want more food. And then within 10 minutes, 20 minutes, definitely within the hour, I'm wounded full, wishing I wouldn't have ate so much. And it was the same thing with that soup. I had that small bowl, and I wasn't stuffed, but I was not hungry anymore. And then I waited a little while because it was way past lunch, but it was early dinner. So I was like, I'll just have this small bowl now, and then I'll have this little small bowl later. And then when I had the small bowl later, it was the same thing. Like, my God, I almost wish I wouldn't have ate that second bowl. Now, am I hurting for calories today? No. I got a decent amount. Definitely not overboard. I could probably try to figure out that. I mean, the shrimp has hardly any calories, and there's just a few that were in the bowl. And then like the coconut milk was probably one of the highest calorie things I ate today out of everything I ate. So I could still probably have it's 6:55. I could find a berry or piece of fruit or something, but just overall I don't count the calories. Like, I'm adding them up for you as we're talking. I don't know what the pumpkin soup was, but like, I know the bread was about 70. I know the egg is like 60 or 70. I know the butter is like 100 calories a tablespoon, so I'm adding it all up and I'm like, okay, I ate a 500 calorie breakfast and if a 500 calorie, I mean, what is the minimum for a 5'8" male that weighs, I don't know if it matters how much you weigh for the minimum amount of calories you should eat, because that extra weight is not something you should be compensating for. It's not good. You need to get rid of it. But I know for a woman it's like 1,200 calories. So for a man, I think it's more like 14 or 1,600 calories. And so I'm probably below that right now. So maybe I should eat a little bit. But big picture, what I'm talking about is eating less. I bring up fasting. Of course, you don't want to do that when you're on 10 medications. You know, you're on blood pressure and blood sugar and cholesterol and whatever medications you might be on. You can't really fast when you're taking all those things, but you can look into it and do some research and learn how to get off of those things, or prevent having to ever need them, is do a lot more fasting in the first place. But okay, guys, I'm going to wrap it up because you know Jesus loves you. Keep fighting because he loves you. I love you, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.